hit the subscribe. Today is Raider Monday. We're going to be talking about the Raiders game on Sunday where they came out victorious versus the Browns 16-20. So this game was all about defense to me from what I saw anyway. So I think, like I said earlier, the Raiders defense will carry this team as far as their performance will go. If they perform well, I can see them winning 10 games, maybe 11. If they don't perform well, I can see them only winning 6 or 7 games. But yesterday, I saw a great defensive effort by the Raiders. But let's go over some box numbers a little bit. Gardner Minshew is a serviceable quarterback, like I've been saying from the beginning. He went 14 of 24 with 130 yards, and that's a pretty good game for a serviceable quarterback, but he didn't put the team on his back and win that game. Turner had one attempt for 18 yards and had a touchdown on that one attempt, which was more of a handoff. Madison needs some more playing time because that running back is running hard and gaining some major yards. I don't understand why he's not the go-to running back for the Raiders. He really should be. He reminds me of Mason from the Niners. I mean, he's running with purpose. He's running guys over. He's getting some big chunk yards when he gets the ball. So I think he definitely deserves more playing time than he's getting. So let's see if he does later on. Maybe next game we'll see him get a few more touches. He definitely deserves it. Bowers was always looking pretty good at tight end, but he still only got one attempt, and he got the 12 yards on that, which is a pretty big chunk play. But he wasn't used enough, I don't think. So some of the offensive plays, I just saw the running game actually take over, and I like to see that actually. I thought the running game is what carried the offense in this game, and it looked good. Tucker had one attempt for 34 yards, and that one ended up being a touchdown. Nice run. So on both attempts, they were good, but their handoffs, Minshew didn't throw a touchdown pass. I think they played it safe. They're not letting him throw the ball too much, although I do have to say I do like the way Minshew throws the ball. He's fairly accurate. He's just not a mobile quarterback, and he makes some mistakes at times, but when he's on, he's on. Either way, the running game was in full force yesterday, and that's what carried this team to a victory. Starting off in the first quarter, Cleveland scored on the first drive, and they took the clock down quite a bit. The Raiders didn't even get to touch the ball until there was 5 minutes and 38 seconds left in the first quarter. And when they didn't get anything done on that first drive. They finally did get a score in the second quarter, and that was the play to Tucker that was kind of a shovel pass, well, kind of a handoff to Tucker around the left side, sweep into the end zone. So that's how that play worked out. Now they scored a touchdown on their first drive. So they didn't score until the second quarter, which is fine. And then they had a big play by Madsen in the second quarter where he got down to the 35-yard line, which resulted in a field goal, which tied the game 10-10. But the Raiders, basically on defense from that point forward in the second quarter, just their defense took over and was shutting the Browns down. Lots of pressure on the quarterback. I saw quite a few quarterback sacks, and it wasn't just one guy getting at the quarterback. This was a group effort getting at the quarterback all day long. And he really didn't have, anywhere to go. So, like I said, the Raiders defense carried this team to the victory at the end of it all. But, they scored 20 points. The Raiders got a second field goal at the end of the third quarter, which put them up. And then they got an interception in the third quarter with 7:59 left, and the defense just showed up. They got quite a few field goals, only 2 touchdowns, but that's fine. Overall, the Raiders looked really, really good. They're going in the right direction. Do I think that they're a team that can go to the playoffs and make a big impact in the playoffs? I don't really think so. Like I said, I think this is a good year to build off of. I do think that they're a wild card team if their defense keeps playing the way it is, and I have no doubt that it will. And by the way, they did that on Sunday yesterday without Crosby, their best defensive guy. So hopefully he'll be back next week. I think that's the first time he's ever missed a game. So I'm sure he'll be back next week, and the defense will be even stronger. Their weak point is going to be the quarterback play. There's no doubt about that. And they can try and hide it as long as they want. But when they start playing better teams, that's just going to come out no matter what they do. So it's going to be hard for them to hide that for too long. That's why I say they are probably a wild card team. And maybe they make a playoff spot ahead and get above a wild card spot. But I really think where they fit in maybe as a wild card spot this year. And where they go from there, probably not far, but it will carry them into next year. And I think next year is going to be a really good year for the Raiders if they can keep the core together and keep everybody happy and, expand on that. But they need a franchise quarterback. There is no doubt about that. Whether they find that in the draft or they make a trade sometime between now and next year, that's what they're really looking for, and that's what they need to take this team to the next level. But as far as defense goes, they're set. They're looking really good on defense. I think it's just the offense where they need to kind of improve. So the wide receivers were kind of quiet yesterday, but I am glad that they lead it on their running game. Niners take note, because that's where the 49ers have a problem. You need to lean on your running game. The Raiders did that, and it worked out for them. And I thought they had quite a few sacks on the day. Their defense showed up, like I said. And overall, good solid win against the Browns, and on to the next one. But it's a good start for the Raiders. They're 2-2 now, and they can build off this. And let's see where it goes. But I have to say, it's just the quarterback play is what's going to hold this team back this year or propel it forward. And Gardner Minshew is either really hot and great or just kind of average, not great. He's not a horrible quarterback. He's right in the middle there. He's, like I said, just serviceable. He will have games that will make you think that he can take the team to the Super Bowl, and then he'll have games where he's going to, people are going to want his head because he didn't do well at all. And that happens more than the other. So that's just the way it is for him. He will be in the NFL for a long time, I'm sure, just because he will be a great backup no matter what. But he's starting now because the Raiders just don't have another option. And when they upgrade at the quarterback position, that's when you're going to see this team take another step forward if they can keep other people on the team happy and together long enough to see that come through. So we'll see. I don't see him doing that this season unless they're doing very well halfway through and right before the deadline or something. They say, hey, getting another quarterback in here might increase our chances. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd say they're probably going to upgrade the quarterback position in the offseason. But so far, they're looking like a pretty good team. They're not horrible. Not one of the best yet, but not horrible. And the defense is pretty darn good. I like what I see from that defense. I'm excited to watch them play. Whenever I see the offense on the field, I just kind of go, if they just had a quarterback, maybe one more wide receiver. Their running game's pretty solid. I like their running game. So, getting another wide receiver in there, just anybody, would probably help a little bit. Bowers is great at the tight end position. I don't know why they didn't use him more. I'm kind of confused. I don't know why they didn't use him more. But I didn't see a lot happening in the passing game. But the Browns secondary has always been pretty good. And the Browns defense in general is pretty good. I'm surprised that the Raiders got the running game going as well as they did because the Browns have a decent defense. But either way, they came away with a big win. Good on the Raider Nation. Everybody who's a Raider fan should be really happy right now with the direction the team's going. I think they're picking up kind of where they left off last year. It's looking pretty good. I know they started a little bit slow and had a hiccup there a couple of games, but overall, with the defense is ramping up and looking like they did at the end of last year, which is kind of like an elite defense. So now it's just on the offense to come through. And I don't know if Minshew has the pedigree to be able to make that happen, but either way, they're scoring points, scoring enough to win. And sometimes when you have an elite defense, 20 points, 25 points will be enough. It's just that defense has got to keep playing at a high level, and I've seen that in the last couple of games from the Raiders. So let's see if they build on it next week and keep going. But Raider Nation, you should be happy. You should be excited. The team is looking pretty good, and I do think that there's a great chance that there's, the playoffs are in the future for this year, and I really think they have a good shot at the wild card nonetheless. So, great guys, good game. Bay Area teams in general had great games this week, so Sunday's a good day for everybody. So let's move on to the next game, see what happens next Monday. I appreciate all you guys for listening to me. I know it's a short video, but I'm trying to kind of cut it down and get to the point quicker. But I appreciate all that you guys do, and just remember to hit the like and hit the subscribe. One more side note, not about football, but this just in, Farhan Zaidi was fired from the Giants, and it looks like Buster Posey's taken over there. So Buster Posey, who has no experience as a GM, is taking over. Now, why would a team do that? It seems as though the Giants are looking to entice players to come and play baseball in San Francisco. Now, look no further than Steve Kerr with the Warriors, who's next player, or John Lynch with the 49ers, who's next player, and he can get those players in, and he can relate to those players. I think that's exactly what the Giants are doing with Buster Posey, and I think that Buster Posey is going to relate to these players, and I think they're going to want to come and play for San Francisco possibly. But clearly, Farhan Zaidi didn't do his job well. He couldn't get in the talent in the front door and get anybody signed. He missed on some really big free agents, Judge being one of them. And it just wasn't working out for him for whatever reason. He's been successful with every other franchise he's been with, so I'm not really sure. He was good with Oakland. He was good with the Dodgers. Look what he did with the Dodgers. He did a great job. Why he couldn't transition that over to the Giants, I really don't know. But the negotiating skills clearly broke down for Farhan Zaidi when he tried to bring in real talent to San Francisco. So Buster Posey, fan favorite, now GM. Pretty cool. Let's see what happens. He doesn't have a lot of experience, but I think he will entice outside players and talent to come in and play for the Giants, knowing that he's the guy that's managing the team. So, pretty cool news just happened. Anyway, remember, guys, hard work beats talent when talent don't work, and Raiders got talent and they're working hard, so you got to be happy about that. So, we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.